Hi, it's Nicole McGurk with this week's From Start to Finish video brought to you by twopeasinabucket.com. This week I have a two-page layout for you that features 9 photos across this two-page spread. Okay, from this week's From Start to Finish video, I'm going to do another two-page layout. I've had a lot of requests for more two-page layouts, and also for things that maybe aren't geared towards kids. So I have these photos from my sister-in-law's wedding shower from last summer. And so I've just created a couple of photo collages here with lots of photos. Obviously there's 6 on this one and 5 on this one. You can see I put a bigger photo down here at the bottom and then these. So I'm just going to cut these down to size. And what I thought was I sketched out a little design for how I think I'm going to put the page together. So you can see this photo collage here with the 6 photos will slightly overlap. I'll just cut it down where these divide here for this side of the page, and it'll butt right up next to this photo collage here. And then my title is going to be over here on the right side of the page. I wanted to mix it up a little bit different. A lot of times you'll see a title more on the left side of the page kind of as you're going, but I thought with this design this would be a really fun look. So my little sketch here with my title is some silhouette die cuts that I'm going to use over here, and then I'll probably add some journaling maybe along this side, but it's just kind of a rough sketch of what I think I'm going to do. I had a lot of questions about that too, if I sketch it out, and sometimes I do. So these are my photos. Now for my paper I picked some different colors, I guess, than what I usually use. I don't tend to use a lot of purple, but I just thought this would be fun. And purple reminds me of my sister-in-law because that's her favorite color. So what I have here are some papers from the Pebbles Happy-Go-Lucky collection. This one has got more pinks. It's a little floral. It's one that picks up quite a few colors, some oranges and pinks and reds and purples. To go with that, this is an older design from KI Memories, Paisley Parade. I can't think what collection this is. Maybe Festivity, I'm not sure. It's older, but I thought the orange in it was nice complement to the rest of the papers I'm using. Then this is the orange from the Happy-Go-Lucky Pebbles collection. And then I have a couple of purple, and this is actually the opposite side of that floral. It's a really nice kind of magenta type purple, a nice tone on tone. And again, from KI Memories, another older paper. This is that same kind of magenta-ish purple in a nice kind of plaid. And I think these all go together nicely. I'll probably incorporate some white cardstock into the design somewhere, just to kind of help balance it all out. So pretty simple paper choices this week. Next, I grabbed these tags from American Crafts because I just love how they look with these papers. So I'm going to try to tuck some of these in here and there just for a nice additional pop of color. I also thought that if I needed some more patterns that coordinated nicely, these are both from Lime Twist. These are the 6x6 paper pads, and for example, this is a nice one that is right in the same color family. Even the little birds are cute. There's several of them in here that I think would be really fun to incorporate. This one even would be great. Has a lot of the same colors. Or if I want to draw more pink, this pink polka dot. So there's several things in here. Maybe even to use this to die cut some of the elements for the side of my page. So I have that one. This is I'm not exactly sure which one this is. Let me see where the difference is. This is the Happy-Go-Lucky, and then this is the Life of the Party. And this one had some nice, there was like this one. It's a red with a little floral. I thought it picked up the red in here nice. It's not a true red. It's a little bit of an orangey red. Probably depending on what you put it with, it brings that out. Then there was this small polka dot red. there are just several in here that I thought would be nice to add a little bit of different pattern paper if I needed to. So with those American Crafts, these are the enchanted tags. Also, I pulled out a sticker. There was a cute one here that had some purple in it. These are some of the die cut tags from the American Crafts Enchanted line. Again, same colors that coordinate nicely, and also some rub-ons if I wanted to incorporate any of these. I don't think I will probably be using everything I'm showing here. These are just the things I pulled out to have kind of on hand and on my desk in case I wanted to use them. Also from the Echo Park Dots and Stripes, the orange tags here I thought would coordinate nicely, or even the pink maybe. So a few of these things I thought might look kind of cute. Even this little pink sticker border. So maybe incorporate something from there. I did grab a couple of October Afternoon label stickers. I don't know that I'll use any of these, but just in case I need somewhere for a date, I picked up those. And then I have the Martha Stewart Royal Butterfly Punch. I thought this would make some nice accents, and I grabbed some Doodlebug mini jewels. I like to kind of dress up the butterflies with either buttons or jewels, and I really love the Doodlebug jewels. I think they're really fun, and you can see there's several sizes in each of the packages, and this is one of the multi-color packages, but they also come in solid colors if you need more than just a few in each color. So we're going to use that. So let's go ahead and get started putting the page together. The first thing I'm going to do is trim my photos from the photo paper, and for the vertical photo collage I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border so it already has a little pre-made mat. And then for the 8x8 collage I'm going to trim it right next to the photos. And you can see I also trimmed apart part of the collage so that the 2 of the photos can be on the left side of the page and the other 4 will be on the right side. Now I tore several sheets out of the My Mind's Eye little 6x6 paper pad, and they are all kind of that purple color that coordinate with the purple from the Pebbles paper. And I'm just cutting some of the other paper there. That was the Pebbles, and then I'm going to trim some of this older KI Memories paper into a 6x6 square as well. I'm going to tear off that little tear strip there at the bottom of this Pebbles paper and go ahead and trim that one too. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build the background of my 2-page layout, and I'm doing that with 6x6 squares. I go ahead and adhere that. Figure out how I want that to go. Okay, and I mostly picked purple paper here, but you can see I used that floral because it coordinates nicely and it adds just a little bit of color as well. So I just want to make sure I get these lined up really good. And this makes a much more interesting background than maybe leaving the solid cardstock background. And I'll show you how I have the photos or help the photos pop off the back of the page. So I'm going to go ahead and trim my white cardstock, and I'm just trimming it a little bit wider than 8 inches tall, and then about 10¼ inches long. So it's going to be longer than what I actually need to mat my photos, but I'm creating the background. So I'm going to put those 2 photos there, then I'll have my vertical photo collage, and it will hang off of the photo mat here, or the center mat of the page rather, just a little bit. But that adds visual interest as well, to not have everything lined up just exactly. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the rest of my 6x6 squares and figure out how I want to place those here and adhere those right to my background. I love how well the My Mind's Eye and KI Memories and Pebbles papers coordinate. And I did cut 2 of those white cardstock mats. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the rest of my photos. Now I'm going to need some paper on each end where you see that kind of blank white space. Grabbing some of my tags, see what I've got here. So I'm just going to trim a little bit from some of the rest of this Pebbles paper and trim that to 8 inches tall, and then place that on each side. And you can see the page coming together now. Now I did die cut my title, and I spritzed it with some of the Mr. Huey ink from Studio Calico to kind of give it a distressed look. And I'm going to go ahead and start adhering the pieces that I've die cut. And I die cut this flower from some green paper that coordinates with the Happy Go Lucky collection from Pebbles. And then I die cut it from vellum as well and overlaid the vellum on top of that flower. The green was just a little too bright. Because I wasn't really using a lot of green anywhere else on this page, it really needed toned down. But I had tried die cutting the flower from another color of paper, and I didn't really like the stem and the leaves to be orange. So I did go ahead and I cut it from the green, the vellum, and the orange, and then I adhered it like this. And I also die cut the title from vellum and pattern paper, and I'm using the vellum for the title portion of it as my shadow. A lot of times I use another color of cardstock or something like that, but I use the vellum this time. It's very subtle, but it gives it just enough illusion of a shadowed effect that it gives it more dimension. I punched a 1-inch circle for the center of my flower there and added one of those Pebbles brads to the center as well to dress it up. Now I'm just going to carefully lift up a part of my background here and punch out a half circle up there at the top. And I have 2 different sizes of circle punches here. I have a 2.5-inch circle and a 2.25-inch circle. And so I punched the large one first, and now I just placed it on a scrap piece of cardstock, that punched out piece. And I'm just going to punch a little bit out using the smaller 2.25-inch circle punch. That way it's slightly smaller and it's matted inside of that larger punched out circle. I like to do this. It adds a lot of interest to a background where it's kind of, even though there's a lot of pretty pattern paper and things going on, it's a little bit boring, I would say. And this just kind of jazzes it up a little bit and gives these also little framed areas, I guess I would call them, give a really nice place to add your embellishments. And I did punch another circle out of vellum and I'm overlaying that. I think it just helps draw more attention to that area of the page. Plus, I want to add a little bit of stamping. I decided kind of after I got going here that I wanted to add stamping to those vellum circles. So I'll do that here in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my photo mat right to my background. So here you can see I'm going to do it the same thing again. I'm going to punch my circle using the larger punch, and then I just temporarily adhered it to a scrap piece of paper so I had some stability, and then I'm going to punch it from the smaller one and adhere that inside the circle, add my vellum as well, and then I'm going to punch some butterflies using the Martha Stewart Royal Butterfly Punch. And this is a really pretty punch. Really fun butterfly. Trim off a little excess there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my stamping. So I did go ahead and remove my butterfly just for a second. And I'm going to pick up this stamp. This is from one of the new Ali Edwards stamps from Technique Tuesday, Ordinary Days, I believe this one is called. And then I put my butterfly back on. And I'm going to use a craft knife to just pick up some Doodlebug gems and adhere them to the center of my butterfly. And that really adds a subtle and easy touch and embellishment to that butterfly design without a lot of bulk. I'm going to take another stamp from that same stamp set, ink it up with this frost white ink, stamp it right there over the vellum. You do want to be careful when you're stamping on the vellum like this. It will smear until it's dry. You could speed that up with a heat tool if you wanted to. Again, adding a few gems to the center of my butterfly. And Just that simple touch of adding some stamped text and a little embellishment really help make the layout more visually interesting. Now I've printed my journaling on some vellum as well, and I'm going to take another word from an Allie Edwards stamp set, and this is Memories, and it's just going to be part of my journaling. I purposely deleted that word after I type out my journaling and left a little space for it, and then stamped that with the white ink as well. Now, you do want to make sure you heat that up too. I smeared it the first time I did it, so I had to redo it. Adding in just my last punched out circle here. I like to do embellishments in groups of 3 most of the time, or an odd number, 5 or 7, whatever. But for this layout, I thought 3 would be a nice even number. It makes it visually interesting. And now I'm simply ready to adhere the rest of the pieces for my page. I'm tucking a couple of those American Crafts enchanted tags, adhering those right there along the left side, adhering my journaling over that. Need to make sure I have everything right. I'm going to trim that border that I tore off of one of the Pebbles papers a little bit and adhere that right there. And another little thin strip, and then placed my photo border there. For more information on this layout, plus a list of supplies that I used, please visit twopiesinAbucket.com on June 1st, 2011. You can find all the From Start to Finish videos under the Design team, under Weekly Videos, and then click From Start to Finish. Thanks for watching.